mainly Shia resistance, they came to the help of their Sunni brothers in Palestine. While they did that, they actually allowed it to be a war of attrition. They used this time. So, I mean, we're talking about at least 100 missile cities underground in Iran. So they have been building their missiles, they have been advancing their military, they have been preparing themselves, and they have been actually deciding on what to do with their uranium enrichment, because as more and more, pressure built up on Iran, they knew that there's a possibility of Iran being bombed, of Iran's nuclear facilities being bombed. So all this while, Iran's leaders actually allowed the time that they needed to build themselves and build resistance, and it was extremely difficult for the people who were ready, for the people who, especially following the assassination of Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah, they wanted Iran to completely just start bombing the entire occupied territories, but Iran refrained from doing so, and Iran kept building the presence because Iran had a long-term plan. And the long-term plan, of course, as Imam Khamenei said, was to actually wipe out the Israeli regime, and also to make sure, force the American troops, force American bases out of our region. And so this was a very long-term plan. And of course, as we're giving news of Iran, because we know, we had the number of Iranian martyrs that we know in terms of women, at least 44 women were martyred, 2 of them at least were pregnant. And we have over 160 women wounded as a result. And, we had children martyred and, other people. But let's remember, this is all a continuation of the fight of the Palestinians and the continuation of the fight of the Lebanese, of every people, of the Yemenis, of every people in this region that want to rid themselves of this tumor. And so what we know today happened, for instance, following Iran's actually retaliation to the American bombing of its nuclear facilities, we had different countries coming out and condemning Iran, different Persian Gulf countries, different Arab countries. But while they were busy condemning Iran for retaliation against the American regime, the Americans killed even more Palestinians in the so-called American aid distribution centers. And we know how they've been using these centers, that these starving Palestinians are going to get food, but they get them to come there in big numbers, and then they massacre them. And this has been happening, since the beginning of this American aid distribution centers. Over 400 Palestinians have been martyred. Would anybody like to condemn that? Would anybody like to condemn the American bases